Wow. Hello, it's your boy Mr. CV. I'm back with another special video, and I'm back and ready for you. Now, it's been a long time, it's been a while since I've done Wahala Wednesday, and I'm back now. I'm mentally ready to be back. It's been a struggle, it's been tough for me for the last couple of months due to personal reasons, and it's been difficult because I've had to get my head around it. But you know, I've now started to get my head around it, and now I'm working on myself mentally and physically as well to be back, because Wahala Wednesday is something that I miss. It's something that I definitely need to continue. And obviously, like I said, if you've been watching me lately, I've just been posting little videos here and there, and I've also started CV talks as well, so make sure you check that out. And also, we're gonna be back on Wahala Wednesday as well, so please bear with me, stay with me. I haven't stopped, and I'm gonna continue going. And like I said, I'm not a man of wisdom, but I'm a person that people give things to be able to share my knowledge, to be able to give my opinions. And like I always say, Wahala and my opinions are not fact, so please just take it with a pinch of salt. And it's not everything I say you have to follow or you have to do. Take the ones that are useful to you, and the ones that are not useful to you, don't use them. But like I always say on Wahala Wednesday, Wahala tipoju, and which simply means Wahala too much. Like they said, problem surplus for Theophilus or matano de tire Matthias. So that just means there's always problems, and there's always going to be constant problems. Trust me, no matter how tough you think you are, how strong you think you are, but just pray to God that you don't face problems that are bigger than your capacity, because there are serious problems in this world. So just always pray to God that God give me the problems that I can handle, because there are some problems that if you're not careful, man, they can mess you up. But no matter how tough the problem is, I'm sure you're gonna get through it. I'm sure I'm gonna get through it as well. Like I always say, let me give you some wisdom in Yoruba. So, aguton tota di meyin agbara lo lo mu wa. So that means a goat that stepped back is going to go and get more power. That's the literal translation of it, but that's not what it really means. It means sometimes when things are very difficult for you, you need to take a step back. You need to go back and re-strategize. You need to look at ways to overcome that problem. So sometimes when you're in a difficult situation, you don't have to show that you're powerful, you're strong. Sometimes by behaving like a coward shows that you're powerful, shows that you're strong. Because sometimes you need to behave like a coward to get through certain situations, because you can't just get through situations trying to prove that you're Arnold Schwarzenegger, you're this strong person, no. Sometimes you gotta behave like a coward. Why? Because you have more to lose, and when you have more to lose, that's the time you need to behave more like a coward. You need to have more discipline. When you have less to lose, then it's like you just overreact and you don't stay calm. It's like it's quite funny, because I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were having a conversation, and we were saying that, look, when you have more to lose, that's when you need to be more scared. That's when you need to have that more discipline, like I mentioned before. Because trust me, when you have nothing to lose, and let's say something happens, you ended up putting him in prison, that person that they put in prison, it might feel as if, they're even helping him out, because at least food will be covered, it will be in a safe place, and it won't be causing problems. But when you have more to lose, you think about your freedom, you think about your family, you think about so many things you want to do, you want to achieve. So is it really worth it? Because you want to show that you're powerful. So sometimes, like I said, you gotta behave like a coward. So that's why I said agunton. Agunton is more like a goat or like a ram, because normally when you have goats, what they normally do, they normally fight with each other, or they use them for fighting. He said agunton tota di meyin. So when a goat steps back, what he's looking for. Why does it step back? Before two goats clashes, before two goats clashes, the goat steps all the way back. Why? Because he's going to get more power. Because if he just stands still and just takes 1 meter to just nod or head the other goat, he's not going to generate enough power. But when he goes steps back, he's generating power. So that's what I said. Aguntotota dimenyi. Agbara lolo muwa. Agbara means power. Power. Another one before I move on to the main part of Wahala Wednesday is Ento ban sun koni sun. Enito ban sun koni sun. Now Yoruba is a very beautiful language, but it's a language where the way you pronounce certain words, they're very similar, but it's the way you pronounce it that gives it a different meaning. So for example, it's similar to Arabic basically. Arabic, you could have kul. Kul on one part, depending on the alphabet you use, it means say. And depending if you use another alphabet, you say kul, it also means dog. Now with Yoruba too, entoban sun. Sun means when you're sleeping. Konisun, it means konisun means you won't move. Can you see? Sun. They're very similar, but depending on the way you pronounce them, they also mean different things. Entoban sun, konisun. So it means whoever is sleeping will not move. Now, like I said, these are the literal translation, but don't take these translations as literal. What he's trying to say is, if you are sleeping, you won't move. It means if you are sleeping, you're not going to be able to achieve things. You won't be able to do things. Because people that are sleeping, they're unproductive. So in order for you to be productive, you need to be up and you need to be active. So entoban sun, koni sun. So if you're sleeping, stop sleeping, my brother. Wake up and go and hustle, go and work, go and stop procrastinating, stop wasting your time just doing unproductive things. Get up and go and do things. So now I'm going to leave it with those two. But before I finish, whilst I took a sabbatical for some time, whilst I was away, whilst I was out, I went to go and dig deep into myself, dig deep into a bit of research about me. And I went to go and speak to my mom actually. And what my mom actually said about me was quite interesting. She said, when I was younger, it took me a long time to walk. But when it came to talking, I was very sharp in talking. So maybe the reason why, because I wanted to understand why do people say I'm good at talking, or why do people say I like talking? So it seems like this is inbuilt in me, is inherited. So it's something that I have to embrace. So my mom said I used to talk a lot. Even when I wasn't allowed out, I would be outside the window, I would be inside my house on the window talking. So they used to call me, they used to use a word, they used to call me Agbari. Agbari is a Yoruba word which means skull, but that's the literal meaning. Now Agbari is more, if you take out the literal word of Agbari, it means more brain. It means I was quite brainy. They used to call me computer brain. That's what my mom said to me. They used to call me computer brain because they said my brain was very sharp. And they said I wasn't able to walk for a while. But when it came to talking, when it came to using your brain, I was very sharp. And it's making sense now. Everything is making sense. It's really put together. But she said when I did start walking, I used to walk everywhere. I was walking everywhere. So, obviously, from young, they've always called me Agbari, which is my nickname, computer brain. So, when I try to tie all these things together, it makes sense, because it now make sense. Why I work the way I work, why my brain thinks a certain way, why do I talk a certain way. All of these things is now make sense. Maybe it's now inbuilt in me. It's something that I have to embrace, which obviously through my YouTube channel, through making these videos, I'm also embracing it and using it to impact people as well. Who knows? People through my videos might even learn how to speak Yoruba, might learn some words from Yoruba. So like I said, ento bansun, konisun. If you're sleeping, you won't move. You won't be able to do things. Now I'm going to leave that there. That's enough wisdom for you guys today. I'll be bringing more every time. And keep watching Wahala Wednesday, because I'm going to be back. I'm going to be start gathering more Wahalas for you. And slowly but surely, I'm going to keep on making these videos. And I'm going to be back. So let's go into today's Wahala. First Wahala for you. Like I said, I'm always going to do 3 Wahalas. That's enough. And I think I don't want to bore you with things. I'm sure very soon we're going to have Wahala every day, because Wahala is every day. There is problems every day. But for now, let's just focus on 3 Wahalas. And I'm going to keep it as Wahala Wednesday. So, first Wahala, he says, I was dating a girl and this was a long distance relationship. I agreed to visit her as she couldn't travel. We've already agreed I will stay at hers for the duration of the trip. On my way there, she began to tell me stories that she would need to go to her cousin's place. When I got there, she made life so difficult and she ended leaving to her cousins. I was trapped in the flat and couldn't leave for 3 days as it was a student hostel. Plus, I didn't speak the language of the country. And if I leave, I won't be allowed back. Should I still be with her? Wow. This one, one of the problems. Wahala deporte you. Listen, this boils down to communication, of course. And also as well, when you're going to another country, obviously arrangements needs to be made. If it's your partner and your partner knows, or the person who was dating at the time knows you're coming to visit them, I feel out of respect, out of courtesy for you, they should also give that time up to be able to, because if it's long distance relationship anyway, you're not going to see each other for a long distance. Long distance relationship, long distance. You're not going to see each other for a long distance for a long time. So within that timing you have to cherish that timing. You have to cherish the time you see each other. It's not the time when you now want to go and see them. They now decided, or their cousins now wants them to meet up. Then they now leave you, that's coming from another country. Before, nah. For me, I think that's a bit too much. I think they should have given you that period of time. And the fact that you were trapped in the hostel for 3 days as well, you couldn't leave. Wow, that is too much. That is too much. And if I was in your position, to be honest with you, what I probably would have done is made my ticket faster, my return ticket faster, and just leave, go back to my country. Should I still leave? Should I still be with her? Honestly, that's completely up to you. But these are signs in its own that I don't really think she values you that much, to be honest. She doesn't respect you that much, because if she does, she would give up that time up just for the sake of the time that you're coming from the other country. And if it's not something that is in her behavior and it's something that comes once in a while, then of course you can always give it a second chance. But if it's something that has been happening regularly, then I think you should reevaluate the relationship, because you don't want a situation where you're not going to see each other for a long time and she's not able to travel to you. And when you're making that effort to travel to her, the least you're expecting is for her to be there. And if she's leaving you in a place, in a country where you don't speak the language, then you need to evaluate the relationship. So number 2, I want to do my driver license, but I don't think I need a car right now. Should I do it? Someone asked me this actually, and I thought it was quite important to put it there. Now the reason why I said it was quite important to put it there is because I just read the next scenario. That's why I'm laughing. So watch out for the next scenario anyway. So the reason why someone asked me, because obviously I've done my driving license, and if you haven't seen my driving license video, please go and check it out as well. When I was passing my driving license, it took a long time. It took me about 8 years to pass, and I'm gonna put the link of my driving license video in the description below, so make sure you check it out. Now, it took me a long time to pass, and why did it take me a long time to pass? Obviously many things happened. I was at uni, I didn't have enough money, I had a knee injury, plus also as well, one thing I realized as well, as a community, I'm going to talk about as a black community, we don't have foundations available for our children. So because we don't have that foundations available for our children, it makes things extra difficult. So I know other races, let's say white children for example, or white parents, sometimes they've already got things like car, house and all these things, and by 15, 16, 17 they're already putting their child in the car and they're teaching them how to drive. But us on the other hand, because we don't have the car, we don't have the foundations available, it makes it more difficult, because now we have to do those things ourselves. So when the guy asked me this question, I told him, I said, look, my advice to him is, even if he doesn't need a car right now, get the license out of the way, because the license is very, very tough. It can be tough. It's tough for some people. For some people it's easy, for some it's difficult. For me, it's tough. It was tough. The theory was easy, but even that was tough too, because it took me about 3 attempts to pass. And the practical too, I felt I was confident in driving, but I didn't pass till the 5th attempt. But itself is a long process in the terms of, it's going to cost you money, it's going to cost you time, it's going to cost you your energy, because you need to read, you need to learn things, you need to. So for me, if you can get it out of the way as soon as possible and you have the finances there, get it out of the way as soon as possible. I know people that are still trying to pass, that are still, trust me, when it became so difficult, I nearly looked at alternatives in passing. But obviously